Now, the 2021 model year is only in its infancy, but already I have found one of my surprise hits for the 2021 model year, and it is the Kia Seltos. Literally, these things are everywhere in the greater Montreal area, and I traveled to Ottawa earlier this week with the Seltos, in fact, and it is immensely popular, like a smash hit. Now, before I picked up the Seltos for my weekly reviews, I can't say that I was wondering as to why that was. I mean, it is uniquely designed, I suppose, and the Koreans are very strong on, packing loads of value into an affordable product that usually will meet every possible Canadian or North American need as far as families are concerned, transportation, whatever. But now, after 6.5 days with the Seltos, I absolutely, completely get it. In fact, as I've said, it's one of my surprise hits. I very much have enjoyed the over 750 kilometers I've put on this thing in the week. Now we can touch on styling just for a moment. The front end is not entirely attractive, to be quite honest. I mean, that's the Koreans saying, look, we can do things differently, but that usually only serves to really date and differentiate the product. But there are details which seem so unnecessary. This is like a 3D diamond plate type design. It's on both sides of the grille. Even the grille it's very busy, but there's a lot going on. And the designers, well, they actually managed to blend that into something that looks like every man or every woman's compact crossover / SUV. Call it whatever you will. And it really absolutely works. Pricing for the 2021 Kia Seltos starts at $22,995 in Canada for the LX front-wheel drive. In the US, the LX comes with all-wheel drive to start, or there's also an S front-wheel drive. So all-wheel drive for $21,990, same price for the S, but with more equipment. Speaking of equipment, what do you get with the LX front-wheel drive? You get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, heated seats, blind spot monitoring, 8-inch screen, and on and on and on. If you want all-wheel drive in Canada, you have to get an LX all-wheel drive, which includes 17-inch wheels, the ones you see here actually, and it retails for $24,995. Now, my tester, in an unusual move, in fact, Kia gave me the option of either driving this or a higher trim. I got to drive an EX, which in my opinion is going to be a volume leader because it is packed with value and has absolutely everything you could possibly need. Sunroof, collision assist, smart key, a leatherette interior, and it retails for $27,595. The EX Premium, it's an extra $3,000, adds navigation and 10.25 inch screen, which is, I don't know, I don't really see why anyone would spend that extra money just for that. And then there's the SX Turbo, self-explanatory, I suppose, and it's even more expensive. This really then is the model to get. Let's do the usual tour. Another aspect will be surprised by how spacious this relatively small SUV is. That opens up to 752 liters of trunk space. It seems like a big number. I can see most of it, but the fact of the matter is the opening is very wide. Everything is extremely accessible. By the way, the seat backs do recline, which is a lovely feature. Not exactly storage under here, but still, you can stuff stuff in there if you need to. Now, in the back, just before I go in there, what amazes me, it shouldn't, but is the materials. See, like these plastics to the touch feel nice and look good, even better than what you get in a Ford Escape, more expensive, and a Ford Explorer, much more expensive. I mean, the materials are padded. Look, there's even like a contrast stitching going on. It looks very nice. There's attention to detail. Look at piano black kind of styling, gloss black plastic. Anyway, there's your dashboard. Get a big overall view. Loads of room. Tons and tons of leg room. That's my driving position, just ahead as usual. And you could squeeze 3 across if you really needed to. Spacious back seat then. Good sized trunk. So far, so very, very good. In fact, oh, here's another detail. Actually, we'll just go in the front and I'll show it to you there. Again, with the unnecessary details that are nice. Try and get closer. It's like there's a pattern to the grill, and it's also 3D. It's embossed. Same, you can see it better here. It's lovely, unnecessary but lovely. And again, the materials, the plastics, the fit and finish, quite impressive. In fact, this you also get with the EX. Very clear, easy to use, or easy to read gauges, I should say. Various menus as always, different settings. There you go. All right, so there's your 8-inch screen, which in my opinion at the moment is an ideal size, and most ideal because you still have some hard buttons on each side. So navigating the menus and getting to where you want to go is actually easy. Lovely HVAC control readouts. Storage is very decent. There are your drive modes. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. Now here's a funny thing about the EX, okay? So you do get the heated steering wheel, but both seats are manual. You do get this nice leatherette, but there's no lumbar support. So when the product planning decisions were made, I guess, I would make that one change and fix the lumbar support. Anyhow, visibility generally is good until you get here. Because of the way the mirror is mounted to the door, and there's this plaque right here, there you go, and the base of the A-pillar, that's kind of a dead spot, if you will, when you're making that left-hand turn, but otherwise visibility is good. Storage, I kind of touched on it. Cup holders, great place to put your masks. Door bins are a good size as well. And the presentation, this actually, I think it's printed or something, but again, it kind of mimics what you see in the speaker grills. Everything, it looks premium. Look at this. It's lovely. It's beautiful. Well assembled. Nice materials. And that's just the beginning, because when you get behind the wheel of this thing, it just keeps getting better. Nobody's paying me to say this, well, except for my editor. But anyway, let's just go for a spin and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. All right, so the numbers and the specs don't actually tell the proper picture of how the Seltos behaves. Because you figure all LX, all EX, and the S in the US have a naturally aspirated 146 horsepower 2-liter engine, 4-cylinder, that also puts out 132 pound-feet of torque, and they are mated to Kia's IVT, Intelligent Variable Transmission, aka we don't want to call it a CVT, but in fact it is a CVT. But in fact, it really doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because, well, Kia's engineered some faux shift points into it, and I don't know. See, kind of a shift, another shift. If you didn't know it was a CVT, you wouldn't know it's a CVT. You'd figure it's a regular 8-speed automatic transmission or whatever. So right away, that's okay. You know, you're misled, or I was, or I have been. Most of us are always misled by the CVT, but this actually works. And I think you saw the drive modes. So there's smart, normal, sport, and well, it's been smart all week, and I've, like I said, done a little over 750 kilometers, and I haven't even thought about it. And it works well enough so that even on the highway, when you want to pass, the brain just figures it out, knocks a couple of gears down in the IVT transmission, and it just works. And as soon as I get moving again, I'll tell you about this vehicle's chassis. It is, that is the most surprising aspect of the drive in this Seltos. Now, I was expecting something a little bit more econo-box-like. I was expecting something a little bit choppier, a little bit rougher, but the reality is, whatever the Kia dynamic driving wizard engineers did, they gave the Seltos multi-link setup, McPherson up front, so fully independent. A ride quality that is unusual and unexpected in this category, in this price point. And I do mean what I'm saying. And I think, just based on all that, you're starting to understand why I am so impressed with this vehicle. So a lot of the roads that I drove on were terrible. And, I mean, obviously, it's not a luxury SUV. It's not entirely that heavy. But the ride is comfortable. It's refined. It shouldn't have, that bump I just went over, it shouldn't have disappeared so easily. Steering is a typical electric power assist from Kia or Hyundai. It's got a little bit of a laggy on-center feel, but this is not a Veloster M. This is just a Kia Seltos. So I can absolutely forgive it that. Brakes, discs all around, whatever, feel great. Good pedal feel. Of the entirety of the driving experience in this thing, it's noisy, but not so unforgivably noisy that it becomes a pain in the ear. Right? Again, it's very much with the segment. In fact, it might be a little bit better than the segment. I can tell you, in some respects, the engine, even with the throttle pinned and the transmission doing whatever it is it's supposed to be doing, it's quieter in here, or the powertrain, I should say, is quieter than a Toyota RAV4, the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. That's praise. As far as I'm concerned, that is absolute praise. But it's still a little bit noisy. I did a lot of highway driving, and it got to me a little bit after a couple hours. The other thing, now you saw, I think, 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers. Because out of that 750 kilometers, more or less, more than 600 were done on the highway. That's why my fuel economy average is there. Which, if that was the normal fuel economy rating, it would be amazing. The reality is that you're going to average about 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which works out to 29 or almost 30 miles per gallon. Which are good numbers, but considering the size of the engine, the size of the vehicle, the weight, it could be a little bit better. As you might be figuring out right now, I am nitpicking because I can't find something absolutely wrong with the 2021 Kia Seltos. If I was to make a list, the seats are okay for about a half an hour. If you're an old man like me now, lumbar support, not having any, that's not cool. But you do have a heated steering wheel, so maybe that makes up for it. The noise, the fuel economy, the bottom line is this thing is absolutely impressive. My usual continued concern, especially when I hear like a 2019 or a 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe drive by me. I have a neighbor that has one not too far, and I hear him drive by, and my goodness, his engine is making a lot of odd, weird noises. It is the long-term durability and reliability of these vehicles that remains my biggest issue with these vehicles. But like initial quality, initial impression, as you can probably tell by now, I am blown away. I absolutely love this. And to be honest, I wouldn't go for the EX Premium just to get a 10.25 inch screen, navigation, and a few other things. And the SX Turbo, well, I mean, I guess it could be fun, but this is everything you can possibly want. I really like this thing. I'm blown away.